Hello, welcome back. So in this part, we will see the fillet weld. We will discuss more about the fillet weld and its design aspect. So till now we have seen that fillet weld, this fillet weld is the most extensively used weld type. So we will see what are the various terms which are being used in the fillet weld and how do we calculate them and what are the design standards to get those terms. So basically in the fillet weld, these are the terms which are being used in the fillet weld. So we will discuss all these terms one by one. So the important term is which is used in this. First one is size of the weld, then the throat of the weld, then effective length of the fillet weld, and return, overlap, side fillets, intermittent fillet weld, strength of fillet weld. So we will see all these parts one by one. So first we will discuss about the size of fillet weld. Well, size of fillet weld, I have also discussed a little about it in the previous slide also. Size of the weld, first we need to understand that this white part is the actual profile of the fillet weld when there is a welding which takes place. So this is the actual profile, but in calculation we take only the triangle which is of isosceles triangle generally, and in the design part we considered this triangle. So in this triangle, these two sides, these two sides, these are called the leg, and also this is called the size of weld. Size of weld. So sometimes it is denoted by leg or it is the size of weld. Although leg is the actual, but theoretical leg is called size of weld, which we use in the calculation. And mostly it is designated, or I will be using S to denote this size of weld. So this size of weld is very important in the calculation. So this is also S and this is S. Now, what should be the value of size of weld, minimum value and maximum value as per the IS code? Now we will see that, because this S value depends on the thickness of the plates and specifically the thickness of thicker plate. If we are joining two plates of different thickness, then we consider the thickness of thicker plate. And now in this table is from the IS code. If you refer to this clause number and table 21, you will find this table. And in this table it says that up to 10 mm thickness, the minimum size of weld is 3 mm. Similarly, it says over, which means 11 to 20. So 11 to 20 mm. If the thickness of plate is between 11 to 20 mm, then the minimum size of weld will be taken as 5 mm. Similarly, if the thickness of plate is 21 to 32 mm, then it will be 6. If it is from 33 to 50, then it will be 8 for first run, 10 for minimum size. Okay. Then there are two notes when the minimum size is greater than the thickness of thinner part. Well, we are seeing that these are the minimum size of weld, like 5 mm, 3 mm, 6 mm. If we have to join two plates of different thickness, say for example these are the two plates of different thickness, then how do we take the size of weld in this scenario? Say for example this is say 4 mm, okay, and then this is the 12 mm. So if we have to join two plates, one is of 12 mm thickness and the other is 4 mm thickness, so we will see the thicker plate thickness to get the minimum size of weld. So for 12 mm the size of weld will be 5 mm, but in this case the thinner plate is 4 mm, which is less than the minimum size of weld. In that case, the minimum size of weld will be 4 mm. Okay. So this is how it is being done. So generally, when this is basically a very rare case, but if it happens, then we follow the proper standards as per IS code. So generally, when two different unequal thickness plate we join, then to to get fusion takes place between these two metals. Sometimes what we do is we initially preheat the plates so that the fusion can take place between them properly. Similarly, it says when the thicker part is more than 50 mm, if the plate thickness is more than 50 mm, then we take some precautions. As I said, that if we have thicker plates or if we have thicker sections, then in that welding process is difficult. So because welding is based on the heating, so if the plates are thicker, then we need to have extra energy. So extra energy in terms of heating. So what we do in that case is we preheat the plate and then we start our welding so that it can fused properly. Fusion takes place properly. Similarly, that previously we have seen the minimum size of the fillet weld, which means we cannot take, in this case, we should not take size of weld less than 3 mm, or in the second case, less than 5 mm. So now there is also a limit of maximum size of fillet weld also. So now how do we calculate the maximum size of fillet weld? So it says the maximum size of fillet weld is thickness of thinner plate minus 1.5 mm. Like if the thickness is say these are the two plates, and in that if this is the thickness say 10 mm, so in that case maximum size of weld can be 10 minus 1.5, which means 8.5 mm. Okay, so this is how it is being calculated. This is the maximum permissible size as per IS code. And in case of angles, if we have to join angles, angles look like this. So in that case, if for example, if we have to join this angle, so this, if this is the fillet weld, then what will be this maximum size? So that I have shown, I will be showing you using this diagram. So in this diagram, now it is clear how do we get. So this value is the maximum possible size of weld in case of angle, if there is an angle, and this is, here it is shown, it is 3/4 of the thickness of the angle. So for example, if the thickness of angle, if this thickness of angle is 10 mm, then this will be 7.5 mm. So maximum possible size of weld in case of this angle will be 7.5 mm. Similarly, then the next important term that we generally use in our calculation is effective throat thickness. Well, as per definition, it says the effective throat dimension of fillet weld is the shortest distance from the root of the face of the weld. Well, I will be showing you again. Say, for example, this is the plate, and welding is taken place like this. So we know this part is called root, sorry, this part is called toe, and this part is also called toe, and this part is called root. So this length is called size of weld, and this is also size of weld. So throat thickness, we generally consider the triangular part only. So if we consider the triangular part, now I'm making fair. So from the root and to the toe, similarly here from the root to the toe, which will be the shortest path to the root. So this whole line, if we consider the root line, sorry, the toe line, if this whole line we consider the toe line, so from the root, which path will be the shortest one? Well, the shortest path will be this one, which means if there is a force coming between the plates, then this welding will fail along this plane. So we generally try to find out that critical plane, and now the dimension of this critical plane is called effective throat thickness. Okay, so now what is the value of this throat thickness, that we will see. So now in this diagram we can see that this A is basically the S. Similarly here also consider this as S. So this is the size of weld and this is the throat thickness, and throat thickness is denoted by TE. So we will always denote throat thickness by TE. And if mathematically we know this is 45-degree angle, this is 45-degree angle, and this is 90-degree angle. So we can easily calculate the throat thickness, and which is about 0.707 times of S. 0.707 times of the throat thickness. Similarly, well, mostly this case will occur, but by chance if say for example there is a plate and there is another plate which has to be joined like this. So if we have to do the fillet weld, in that case now we can see that this triangle, this will have different size of weld and this will have different size of weld. So if we denote them with A and B, in that case how do we find out the throat thickness? In that case this formula can be used to get the throat thickness, but this is very rare. But I gave you this formula so that you understand if such case occur, then how do we get the value of throat thickness. Most of the time we will use this case only. Well, maximum value of throat thickness, it can be generally it is about 0.7 times of T, and minimum value of throat thickness, it should not be less than 3 mm. Okay, so this is also specified in the IS code. So if you go to this close number, you will get this statement. So it says 1 times of T in under special circumstances. So this is a very special case. We will not consider this case. So for the timing, we will assume that the minimum size as per IS code will be 3 mm, and maximum size of throat thickness should not be more than 0.7 times of the thickness of plate. And T is the thickness of thinner plate. So this is also need to be considered. Now we have seen that in the fillet weld, generally what happens is when fillet weld takes place like this, so the surface, this angle is generally 90 degree, but it may not be the case always. This angle 90 degree, it may be changed, it may be less than 90 degree, it may be more than 90 degree. In that case what we do, how do we calculate the throat thickness? Because throat thickness, when 90 degree angle is there, then the throat thickness is about 0.707 times of S. Sometimes we take it as 0.7 times of S. So if we consider this coefficient as the value of K, then we can say that TE is equivalent to K into S. So K is the coefficient that depends on this angle. So if the angle is different, then the K value will be different. So in the IS code table 22, if you refer to the table 22, there is a table which is being given to get the value of K. So this table we can find. So it says up to 90 degree. If the angle is between 60 to 90 degree, then the value of K will be taken as 0.7. If the angle increases, say up to 100, then it will be decreasing. The constant value, this K constant, will be decreased. As you can see, if this value go like this, if like this, then this value will also decrease. If the angle is increasing, this value will be decreasing, and that is why this constant K value is decreasing. Now coming to another important aspect, which is effective length of the weld. Well, practically when we weld to join any plate, so say for example this is a plate, say this is the plate which we have to join with another plate. Say there may be another plate like this. So what we do is we do fillet weld like this. So at the start, when we start fillet welding and when we end the fillet welding, what happens is there is a taper at the start and at the end. There is a taper, and because of this taper, the throat thickness at that taper point is less. So that is why what we do is, if we assume that practically this length can be say L, but we know that initially and at the end there is a little taper, and because of that throat thickness will be less. So that is why what we consider is, in the calculation we consider only a specific length which has proper effective throat thickness, say L. So if this is capital L, this is L. So how do we get this value of L? So as per IS code, this L value will be find using L minus 2 times of S. So we assume that this taper, initial taper, is up to the value of S, and S is the size of weld at the start and at the end. So to get the value of effective length of weld, we generally deduct it. So this is basically the extra weld that generally provided, and the contribution of this extra weld is not considered, simply because initially and start there is a little taper between, I mean the actual thickness of weld may not be achieved at the end and at the start, because at that time we just start the weld. So that is the concept of effective length of weld. So there also we can see, I'm talking like if we extend this, so first of all we will consider this in the diagram. This is basically the L. Actual, how do I show? When there is a taper, this thickness will be less at the taper zone. Okay, similarly at the end also, when the taper will take like this, then this thickness will be less in those zones. So that is why we deduct those values to get the effective length of weld, which we generally use in our calculation, or which we calculate using our calculation. So that I have shown you overall length, which is the practical length, and minus 2 times of size of weld. So that is our effective length. Now one more point which is being discussed in the IS code, and it is that the effective length, which I just discussed, the length of this effective weld should not be less than the 4 times the size of the weld, which means this L value, minimum value of L, should be greater than 4 times of size of weld. So this condition should be followed. Now IS code says, if by chance, if it is not possible to satisfy this condition, in that case what we have to do is, if by chance, now I'm writing here, if by chance L minimum is less than 4 times of S, in that case what we will do? We will do S in that case will be the 1/4 of L minimum. So whatever L minimum is possible to provide at particular point, then this S will be calculated as per that provided length. Okay, so this S will not be calculated as per the thickness of plate, but on the basis of the effective length of weld. So we will continue our discussion in the next video.